Welcome to the Historypedia channel. My name is Peter and today I'm going to tell you about an ancient world history. The Maya civilization was a pre-Columbian civilization that developed in what is now Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. The Maya civilization is known for its sophisticated writing system, complex calendar system, impressive architecture, and skilled artisans. The Maya civilization had its peak from about 250 CE to 900 CE, after which it began to decline and was eventually abandoned. The Maya civilization was made up of city-states that were ruled by kings. The Maya civilization was organized into a series of city-states that were each ruled by a king. The Maya kings were considered to be divine and were responsible for maintaining the well-being of their communities through their religious and political authority. Maya kingship was hereditary, and the position of king was often passed down within a ruling family. Maya kings had elaborate titles and names that reflected their position of power and their connection to the gods. For example, the famous ruler of Tikal, who reigned from around 682 to 734 CE, was known as Jazochankeoil, which means strong raised up sky. Other notable Maya kings include Pakal the Great, also known as Kainich-Janab-Pakal. He was the ruler of the city-state of Palenque from 615 to 683 CE. He is known for commissioning the construction of the Temple of the Inscriptions, which contains his tomb. Yaxchilan Shield Jaguatu, also known as Kainich-Tatbuskatu, he ruled the city-state of Yaxchilan from around 681 to 742 CE. He is known for his military campaigns and his patronage of the arts. Teotihuacan, also known as Fire is Born, he was the ruler of the city-state of Teotihuacan from around 378 to 439 CE. He is known for his military campaigns and for establishing Teotihuacan as a major regional power. Maya kings were often depicted in artwork and inscriptions, which served to reinforce their authority and legitimize their rule. The Maya also developed a system of hieroglyphic writing that allowed them to record historical events, including the deeds of their kings. Today, many Maya glyphs have been deciphered, and we have a better understanding of Maya history and culture as a result. The Maya were skilled farmers, and they developed a complex system of agriculture that allowed them to grow crops on the steep slopes of the highlands. They also built impressive temples, pyramids, and other structures using large stone blocks and intricate carvings. One of the most famous Maya sites is Chichen Itza, located in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. This site is home to the Temple of Kukulkan, a large pyramid with a unique design that aligns with the equinoxes. Other notable Maya sites include Tikal in Guatemala, Copan in Honduras, and Palenque in Mexico. The Maya civilization had a complex religion that included many gods and goddesses. They believed in the cyclical nature of time and the importance of astronomical events such as the movement of the stars and planets. They also practiced human sacrifice, which was believed to be necessary to appease the gods and ensure the well-being of the community. Some of the most important Maya gods and goddesses include Itzamna was one of the most important gods in the Maya pantheon, and was considered the supreme god of the Maya. He was associated with creation, knowledge, writing, and the arts, and was believed to have brought civilization to the Maya people. Itzamna was often depicted as an old man with a long beard and a headdress made of feathers. He was also associated with the sky and was sometimes depicted with a serpent wrapped around his body. Itzamna was believed to have created the world, the sun, the moon, and the stars, and was also associated with the calendar, which was crucial to Maya religious and political life. Itzamna was also associated with knowledge and wisdom, and was believed to have taught the Maya people how to read and write. He was associated with the creation of the Maya writing system, which used hieroglyphs to record historical events, religious ceremonies, and other important information. In addition to his role as a creator and teacher, Itzamna was also associated with the arts, including music and dance. He was often depicted holding a musical instrument, such as a flute or a drum, and was believed to have inspired the Maya people to create beautiful works of art and architecture. Itzamna was worshipped throughout the Maya world, and many temples and shrines were dedicated to him. The most important of these was the Temple of Itzamna at the site of Palenque, which was one of the largest and most impressive buildings in the Maya world. Today, the legacy of Itzamna can be seen in the continued celebration of Maya culture and traditions in parts of Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and Honduras. His influence can also be seen in the many works of art and architecture that were created by the Maya people over the centuries. Kukulkan, also known as Quetzalcoatl in other Mesoamerican cultures, was one of the most important deities in the Maya pantheon. He was a god of wind, wisdom, learning, and was also associated with agriculture and fertility. Kukulkan was often depicted as a feathered serpent, with a body that was covered in feathers and a long, curved tail that ended in a rattle. He was sometimes depicted as a human with feathered wings and a beaked nose. Kukulkan was a multifaceted deity who played many roles in Maya religion and mythology. As a god of wind, Kukulkan was believed to bring cool breezes to the Maya lands, providing relief from the hot and humid climate. As a god of wisdom, he was associated with learning and knowledge, and was believed to have taught the Maya people about agriculture, astronomy, and the arts. Kukulkan was also associated with fertility and agriculture, and was often depicted with corn and other crops. He was believed to have brought the first corn to the Maya people, and was associated with the planting and harvesting of crops. In addition to his many other roles, Kukulkan was also believed to have been a powerful shaman and healer. He was associated with the use of hallucinogenic plants and other substances, which were believed to allow him to communicate with the spirit world and bring healing to the sick and injured. Today, Kukulkan continues to be an important figure in Maya culture, and his image can be seen in many works of art and architecture throughout Mexico, Guatemala, and other parts of Central America. His influence can also be seen in the continued celebration of traditional Maya religious practices and ceremonies. Ninkal was a goddess in the Maya pantheon, and was one of the most important deities in Maya religion. She was the goddess of the moon, childbirth, fertility, weaving, and medicine, and was also associated with water and rain. Ninkal was often depicted as a beautiful woman, wearing a headdress shaped like a crescent moon and holding a rabbit, which was a symbol of fertility. She was also sometimes depicted as an old woman, symbolizing her role as a wise healer and midwife. She was also associated with medicine and healing, and was believed to have the power to cure illness and injury. Ninkal was worshipped throughout the Maya world, and many temples and shrines were dedicated to her. Her most important temple was on the island of Cozumel, off the coast of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. This temple was a center for pilgrimage and healing, and was believed to be a place where the sick and injured could come to receive healing from the goddess. Today, Ninkal continues to be an important figure in Maya culture, and her image can be seen in many works of art and architecture throughout Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and other parts of Central America. Her influence can also be seen in the continued celebration of traditional Maya religious practices and ceremonies. Shak was a god of rain and lightning in the Maya pantheon, and was one of the most important deities in Maya religion. He was believed to control the weather, and was responsible for bringing rain to the crops and ensuring bountiful harvests. Shak was often depicted as a man with a reptilian face, carrying an axe or a lightning bolt. He was sometimes depicted with a serpent or a bird perched on his head, which symbolized his control over the natural world. As the god of rain, Shak was associated with agriculture and fertility, and was believed to be responsible for ensuring that the crops had enough water to grow. He was also believed to have the power to bring thunder and lightning, which was both feared and respected by the Maya people. Shak was worshipped throughout the Maya world, and many temples and shrines were dedicated to him. His most important temple was located in the city of Chichen Itza, which was one of the largest and most powerful Maya cities in the Yucatan Peninsula. Today, Shak continues to be an important figure in Maya culture, and his image can be seen in many works of art and architecture throughout Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and other parts of Central America. His influence can also be seen in the continued celebration of traditional Maya religious practices and ceremonies, which often include offerings and prayers to the god of rain and lightning. Arpuch was a god of death and the underworld in the Maya pantheon, and was one of the most feared and respected deities in Maya religion. He was often depicted as a skeletal figure with a skull for a head, carrying a scepter and a blade or a spear. As the god of death and the underworld, Arpuch was associated with decay, darkness, and the cycle of life and death. He was believed to preside over the souls of the dead, and was responsible for guiding them to their final resting place in the underworld. Arpuch was also associated with disease and epidemics, and was believed to bring sickness and death to the living. He was often depicted as a scavenger or a carrion bird, which symbolized his role as a devourer of the dead. Despite his fearsome reputation, Arpuch was also believed to have a benevolent side. He was sometimes called upon by healers and shamans to provide protection and guidance in their work, and was believed to have the power to heal illness and injury. Arpuch was worshipped throughout the Maya world, and many temples and shrines were dedicated to him. His most important temple was located in the city of Tikal, which was one of the largest and most powerful Maya cities in ancient times. Today, Arpuch continues to be an important figure in Maya culture, and his image can be seen in many works of art and architecture throughout Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and other parts of Central America. His influence can also be seen in the continued celebration of traditional Maya religious practices and ceremonies, which often include offerings and prayers to the god of death and the underworld. The Maya civilization eventually declined and was abandoned for reasons that are still not entirely clear. Possible factors include environmental degradation, overpopulation, warfare, and political instability. Today, Maya culture and traditions continue to be celebrated in parts of Mexico, Guatemala, and other Central American countries. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned.